the opinions of the host, guests, and call-in participants. These do not necessarily represent the views of this show's distributors or sponsors. This program may contain obscene, profane, or otherwise objectionable language. Viewer discretion is advised. Howdy ho, everybody. Come to you cordless. It's Wednesday, April 1st, 2026. I'm Jim Peters. Welcome to another edition of Jim Peters at Night. This is episode number 322. No, I'm sorry, 332. If you're keeping score at home. And what do I tell you? It's April Fool's Day. So we have a very special show for tonight. We've actually never done this before. We have on 3 guests, and we gave them all a little less time, because we don't want to bore the crap out of you. So later on, joining us will be our old friend Think, who's going to be talking about AI, and our old friend Vladimir Putin is calling from Russia, and he's going to tell us about his health and how he pines for the old days of the Soviet Union. But before that, our first guest is our old friend Michael Brooks. He's calling from eastern Wisconsin. He lives in the middle of nowhere, and he's going to be talking about what it's like to move from the city to the wilderness. So here's Mike in 12 seconds. Joining us from his home next to the Peshtigo River in eastern Wisconsin, our old friend, really old, Michael.
Really old.
All right, you know what I was thinking about before we went on here? And no one else knows about this, you and I. But yeah. we taped the pilot to After Hours in April of 1988, 39 years ago.
That was a riot.
Yes, it was.
That was absolutely so much fun. I just wish that had continued. That was a lot of fun.
Well, you're kind of right. I screwed that up. I mean, that's a long story, but it's like, there were people who were interested, but yeah, the whole thing kind of went to hell. Right. But I'm flawed. I don't know if you know that.
We're not going to go into an extended discussion about how flawed you are we?
No, we're not. No, we're not. All right, so explain to people exactly where you live here. You are about, 30, 40 miles from the UP border, right?
Yeah, we tend to refer to it as left of the tree, then go right.
and then about 90 miles out of Green Bay. Is that right?
Yeah. You're going to be coming about an hour and change northwest, slightly west of Green Bay. That would be the major town. If you have any kind of a medical appointment, that's where you've got to go. So you can well imagine if somebody has some kind of a heart situation, we just say goodbye.
Well, that is the main problem of where you live. I mean, you do basically live out in the middle. We're going to put some pictures on the screen here. This is the Peshtigo River outside of your house. No, actually, it isn't, is it? Is this outside?
No, that's the Pike River, but it's indicative of what it looks like around here.
Yeah, and you actually live in the bend of the river where the rapids are. You basically have the primo spot, correct?
Well, we're at the last section of rapids. Essentially, they call it Big Eddy. If you want to get, because we have that big open area like a pond at the end of it. But it's the longest continuous stretch of rapids in the upper Midwest.
Yeah,
it's primo for whitewater sports.
And you're about 20 minutes out of the smallest town, out of a small town. I don't want to name them, but
for privacy reasons, I don't either. But we'll go on there anyway.
Yeah.
The closest town to us would be Lakewood. And that's going through the Chequamegon Nicolet Forest, beautiful road. About 20 minutes, yeah.
And but you live in an enclave of about roughly a dozen houses there?
It's a very unique situation because it's a peninsula and it's flat. And most of the river, if you were to say like Google Earth and go up and down the river, it's very rugged. There's no power. There's a lot of things. But we have this really unusual situation where we have a kind of a peninsula with about 7 homes on it. and we all have access to the river. It's really unique.
So the big question, Michael, is, I mean, you lived in the city for like 40 years. Why did you decide to do this, to move out there?
Well, I'd always liked rivers. I mean, I had a background that was more like, camp counselor and wild. And, my first major was actually forestry. And
Yeah.
the only real reason I didn't get into it was I barely got to this tiny little school. I think it's closed now. It was Northland College in Ashland. I think they closed it. I think it ran out of funding or something. Well, anyway, I showed up in 1976. And I always wanted to be in forest management. And I went in, and my advisor told me first day, she said, look, Mike, the way it's going, by the time you graduate, there'll be one person to manage every tree in America. It was this whole Rocky Mountain thing that was going on at the time. Everyone wanted to do it. So, I mean, from a long time ago, I wanted it. And so I was looking for a property on a river, and I found this thing back in 2017. We moved here in 2020. Essentially because of all the chaos that was going on in the Twin Cities. It was around the time of George Floyd, actually, I think, or actually after that, it was like COVID. And we thought this was a better place to live. And so we've been here ever since.
Well, the irony is you kind of skipped over this, is that you went from forest management to marketing, which is
well, it was actually stepped because I was going to go to the school, in La Crosse. I was going to go there for the business side of recreation. They had a great program for it. And then when I was on campus, I came across the mass communications program, and that's what I ended up doing. But hey, what a college story. I think everyone has one like that.
Yeah. And the thing is, La Crosse, people have to know this. La Crosse, Wisconsin is like the epitome of a college town. I mean, it's really incredible. There's a whole street that's made up just of bars.
It's a lot more mild than it was. And I mean, when I got there in the mid 70s, it was still pretty good. But the people that were just graduating had incredible stories to tell that it was even wilder back in the early 70s and 60s.
Yeah. My friend Alexander Platt, he conducted the La Crosse Symphony, and actually for a small town, it's a fantastic orchestra. It's really terrific.
Well, and it's a great spot, but that's a lot of infrastructure. I mean, I was just thinking about it. You have where you live something like 8,000 people per square mile.
Yeah.
And where I live, it's like 5.
Yeah, that's right. It is. Well, okay. So we were talking about this yesterday, and this is the real reason I wanted to have you on. So you live in what is now called a micropolitan area. So, and the comparison I use is, I mean, we're in Northeast Minneapolis. I'm a few blocks from Central Avenue. It takes me 20 minutes just to drive down Central Avenue, like a mile. Traffic. It's this big city, all this stuff. Where you go to the grocery store, it's probably 20, 25 minutes away, or 20, 25 miles away. It's the same drive in terms of time, but it's like, it's a completely different experience. But the thing is, you're not taking up any more time than I am.
Time is really different here. I notice that if I go to a store, so we live in an area, there's a lot of seasonal people. So our town is maybe 500 people. It tends to be older people, kind of a thing, but there's a lot of part-time seasonal people, out of 3-season cabins, kind of a thing. And so when these people come up, the difference of the relationship to time, because if you're in a grocery store line and the person who has just come up for the weekend is behind somebody, some local person, and they've got their beer and their hot dogs, whatever, and they want to get out. And then that person in front of them is taking out a picture of a grandchild, and they're talking about the kid. It's like a normal conversation, and it's like everyone in line just kind of puts up with it, except the person who's not from there. Their concept of time is a little different, and they're not into the vibe. I mean, they're there for a few days. They want to relax, and then they want to go back to the city. So time up here is a lot different in terms of distance and things. When we got this last snowstorm, a lot of people were snowed in. And not a lot of people freaked out about it. They just kind of put up with it.
Yeah, well, you did bring up the one real negative about where you live, and that is if you need a medical emergency, you are kind of that's tough. It is. But yeah.
You are, and these populations tend to be older. I mean, the people, I'll tell you right now, the people that have volunteered to run the EMS vehicle are really the age of the people that are typically in the back of it.
Okay. Well, you noticed that. Most people probably wouldn't.
No, I mean, seriously, I mean, we just don't have a lot of, what you would call younger people, the 20-somethings. They're not here. They're here part-time, but there's no infrastructure. There's no jobs for them. You'd think a legislature would hop on it in a way to kind of make it a little bit better that way, because everyone comes up here. It's kind of like, it's like a frat house. You pick a girl up and send her out the back door. I mean, there just isn't a whole lot going on here, but everyone comes here because it's so beautiful.
Yeah, but you brought up the employment thing. We were talking about that yesterday too, about the fact that people in America seem to be moving. This kind of surprised me. I thought people would in America, once the remote work thing started, would move from big cities to mid-sized cities like Green Bay, or I use Sioux Falls, South Dakota. But actually, they're moving to the middle of nowhere. A lot of them are moving to where you're at, but you haven't found that per se a lot. Well, like you said, your community is 8 houses, so I don't. So
well, it is true. I mean, if you look at real estate around here, it just sells in a heartbeat. It barely goes up. I think I noticed online the other day that was like, since we moved here, there's been like a 46% increase in values. It's going up, and I think with what we were saying about, when you have events like the Colorado River almost shutting down, and you have the huge amount of heat and stuff that they've had out in the desert states, I think a lot of people find a kind of a refresh, literally, coming to the Midwest, upper Midwest. As I said, we have lots of fresh water. I think of how many times California would love to tap into the Great Lakes. I mean, this big pipe, right, going across Duluth, Minnesota. Kelly, my stepdaughter Kelly, was talking about the number of people from California that have been showing up in Duluth, and we have neighbors here. The Hutters, they're from L.A., and they have a couple properties around here, but they're real open about it. They say it's a backup if the water runs out in California.
Well, I just had a friend who moved from Austin, Texas, to Duluth, which actually surprised me. But and I don't know about you. I like Duluth a lot. I think it's a very pretty place.
Oh, it's great town.
It's people who aren't familiar with it. It looks a lot like San Francisco, frankly. It really does.
Yeah.
It's really pretty cool. But it's not that big, so it doesn't get a lot of attention. So,
well, it doesn't, but it has so much going for it. That Great Lake is really like an ocean, and
for sure,
it has a lot of appeal. A lot going on.
A lot of people have been to Chicago, so you don't have to. If you've been to Chicago, you understand. Like the Great Lakes are basically they're like oceans, right? You can't go. I mean, you stand on the end of Navy Pier, you cannot see Michigan.
You can't. And Superior's even wilder. I mean, the waves that they get in these storm seasons. I mean, there's a lot of boats at the bottom of that lake.
Yeah. So what do you figure? So you moved in 2020 and you built a new house. What do you figure the value of your property's gone up in the last 6 years?
That's a good question. I don't know if I could give you a number on it. Generally, I've been seeing numbers like 46% for value increase. I think 9% a year is what it's been. So it's considerable. We first really weren't going to build a brand new, totally new house. We're going to kind of build a tiny house and attach it to the one that was here, but it was so decrepit, and there were so many boulders. I mean, you've seen the boulders that line our driveway. Yeah. There was no dirt, so you really couldn't underpin two buildings together like that. So we made the decision that we did to build the house. But we got in just in time. We got in just in time because shortly after that, there got to be a real problem with wood cost, and and then COVID showed up, and so we got in at a very, very tight window, and it worked out.
Yeah, I think, is this me standing in front of the river in front of your house? Is that what that is?
No, that's you standing when we were at the Johns Fall. That was at the Rapids. That same picture that you had, the first one. This was further upstream from there.
Oh yeah, here's the first one.
Yeah, that's a little downstream from where we were.
Yeah,
I sent you another one that was the small river in the fall that by our house, that little inlet that goes around.
God, it's beautiful. I mean, it's like, we come to see in October. It's just like, it's stunning, absolutely stunning. And summers are very nice, right? I mean, you don't. It's nice when it's warm, right?
It is. It is. And when you're by the river, of course, there's a lot more humidity. So if it's hot, you're going to have a more of a humid hot. And in the wintertime too, it's more like a Boston feel to it. It's kind of that damp, cold kind of a thing.
So what do you guys do for socializing? Do you like go? Supper clubs are a pretty big thing in Wisconsin, right?
Yeah. Well, it depends on the season. If it's summertime, as you know, we feed the chips. You know, we got the chipmunks, right? Everyone likes that. They come over and we buy peanuts by like 50 pounds at a time. And people come over and then they feed the chipmunks. I mean, it's pretty basic stuff. As for other fun, I got the river. I mean, I've got things there. You know, you can do things. The last few years, probably since I moved in, I've been more busy with like, you know, home improvement stuff. And now with our project with the place next door, I'm going to continue that probably this summer. But, you know, trying to get more into the kayaking and doing stuff like that.
And isn't that kind of what life should be? I mean, it's like, you know, people are so connected to their goddamn phones, and it's like, I don't know. Easy for me to say, here I'm sticking on the inner tube, you know, broadcasting or something, but I don't know. It's like, you know, geez, you know, go out and do something. And you're doing it. I mean, you are.
You can, but you know, it's so, like, you know, it's so easy to be connected to that phone for so many reasons. But yeah, what I tend to do is I tend to set time aside a lot, if I can, to just go outside and sit and you know, maybe do something, maybe write some notes or do something that way. But stay away from the device for a while.
So are you you're completely retired at this point, right?
Well, you know, I'm still the chair of the nonprofit Lake Links in Minnesota. That's a lot of time still, because we still have to complete a couple of different segments. I just came back from meeting with the legislature, some people in the Minnesota legislature, on some things to help solve. Maybe there's a big discussion you probably saw about e-bikes, motorbikes, and you know, they're really caught up now in classification. And I was talking about some more practical applications that we could do with educating police and teens directly to kind of solve the problem, but not just have another committee. And that was well received. I'm probably going to have to go back and talk to more people in a few weeks about that. And I got some other side things I do. You saw my sticker that I had, my window sticker. I've got some micro, what I would call rural branding ideas. So I've got some things on the side I'm working on, you know, but I just haven't brought them full force forward. So I got a mix of things. But yeah, I guess you could say for classification of filing taxes, I'd have to say retired.
So the drive from your house to the Twin Cities is about what, 5 hours?
Yeah, 5 hours with stops. It's pretty much a straight shot.
And you still, you know, here's my problem. As I've gotten older, I hate driving. I hate it. But you're still okay with it, aren't you?
I've always been, I don't know, I got the driving gene. I mean, I can go 10, 12 hours a day. It's not a problem. Get up and do it again.
Yeah. Well, your father was a relatively well-known person in automotive journalism. That was Bob Brooks. Yeah. He wrote for Auto Week for like years and years, you know, so
yeah.
He's a pretty cool.
He did a lot of things, but he was the same way. He could drive. He relaxed when he drove, and I'm the same way. It's perfectly fine. I can do that for a long time.
So I have, you know this, I have family in northern Wisconsin around the Bayfield, Ashland area. And yeah, they come down here. It doesn't, I mean, I'm assuming you're kind of the same place. It doesn't even faze them to drive 5 hours anywhere. I just, you know.
No, you get used hour, 2 hours to do something. I mean, if we want to go to a store like, I don't know, Home Depot or something, you're going to be in the car for an hour at least to get there. And you just don't, I think after a while, you kind of get absorbed by the culture, and time driving and doing those things was just part of it.
Do you go into Green Bay often?
Yeah, we tend to go there a couple times a month. You know, that's where the Costco is.
Yeah.
You know, and we do that, or we do Woodman's, or we, you know, got some specialty stores we like to go to for food and stuff, and we go there, then we come back. So yeah, a couple times if you have, as I said, medical appointments of some kind.
Yeah.
That's usually where the docs want to be. They don't want to come to Marinette, which is about an hour away. That's a little closer, but they want to stay in Green Bay.
Anything else you want us to know?
Really about this? Oh, yeah, I can tell you this real fascinating thing. You know, it's Silver Cliff, right, where I live. In this town, it's called Silver Cliff.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. Now, when this town was first established in 1920, they named it after a river that passes through here. They called it, so the town was called Rat River. And so they called it Rat River, and then the residents thought about it for like 2 months. And they said, well, no, we're not going to call it Rat River. And that's how Silver Cliff came about. And it really isn't. There's a kind of a peak, if you would, small foothill. And they did find some silver, you know, years ago. And I mean, not much. I mean, half an ounce, something like that.
Yeah.
It was a tiny amount, but it stuck. And here we are. It was a famous place, though, in the 30s and 40s. It was one of the top 2 or 3 trout streams in the country. And we actually have, it's now a street with houses, but it's a very flat street. And it was a landing strip. And we got the likes of like Clark Gable and other people coming here.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
To go fishing. There used to be more resorts and things like that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's right. They actually used to land their planes there. Yeah.
Small planes could land here. And we had a presidents and a lot, kind of like the story that the what's the other river over in that I'm thinking about that has, they call it the President's River. Can't think of it right now. The Brule River. They've had a lot of presidents go there too for fishing.
Yeah. Well, you know, people don't realize this, that St. Paul, Minnesota, the capital of Minnesota, the original name of that city was Pig's Eye.
Yeah. There you go.
Rat River. Yeah, right. I guess some priest decided, you know, I don't think we want to call it Pig's Eye.
Now, there's probably one thing that I can tell you that, you know, that a little bit about small towns. We had a F2 tornado come through here in 2020.
Uh-huh.
And the only thing it really flattened other than trees was the firehouse. And so we were trying to get that thing rebuilt, and the insurance company was fighting us on some of the money, but the way people pitched in, volunteered to move things, to fix things, to do things, was absolutely over the top. We were fortunate that Governor Evers personally got involved, and I think we got, because of his assistance, about $1 million to help with it. But the amount of pitching in to get things done around here is really refreshing. You get done with a meeting, everyone starts putting the chairs away. It's that kind of a place.
Yeah, that seems to be the attraction of it. I mean, you know,
it is.
A lot of younger people say they're moving out to these really small towns because they want to be part of a community, you know.
Yeah, there's definitely more community. I can tell you, neighbors here as opposed to where we lived before, other than my immediate next door neighbor, we know, I think, a lot more people here. It's just more outreach because, you know, you're out here and, you know, you're part of a coexistence of some kind. And so I think you naturally reach out to others around here more openly than maybe you would in a city.
Yeah, it's funny how that works, isn't it?
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah. Hey, Michael, thanks for joining us today. I'm really glad we could.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you again.
You know, we'll be there in October. You know that.
That's great, Jim.
Thank you. See you later.
See you, bud.
All right, we've got a caller here. Who's this? Hello?
Hello, I am total normal doctor calling with sexually transmitted disease results. And this is for Jim Peters?
Yes.
You have all of them. And unfortunately, I have to tell you, you have all diseases.
And do you know where I got them?
Well, first of all, okay, I must come clean. Hello, Dmitry. It's Vladimir Putin I put you on. I give April Fool's joke to you.
Oh, yes. It's April Fool's.
So
yeah.
I am not really random doctor at health clinic or anything like that. I thought I'd call you up and wish you happy April Fool's Day today.
So is this Vlad?
Yeah, he's Vladimir Putin.
Oh yeah. So we haven't heard from you for a while. Thanks for calling.
Добрый день, как дела? Это хорошо?
Hey, do you have April Fool's Day in Russia?
No. We have joke day though. Let's see. I think I may have told joke before about a Russian walking down alley. He sees another Russian without shoe on, and he says, I see you lost a shoe, comrade." And the comrade goes, "No, I found shoe." That is old Soviet Union joke. It's old joke for Soviet Union. Also, we have joke of people coming to car dealer, and he goes to car dealership and he says, "Hey, I want to buy car," and the car dealer says, "Okay, car ready, be ready for you in 5 years." And the guy goes, 5 years? Yeah, okay. So morning or afternoon in 5 years? And he goes, "What? What do you mean morning? In 5 years, you'll be ready." "Oh, I have plumber coming in morning in 5 years, so I need to know." So that's how Soviet service is. It is everything.
Oh my God!
So we have a lot of jokes for.
Vlad, we used to have the Yugo. We used to import that here, and I'm Yugoslavian, so I know a little bit about that. They were important.
Oh, you're Yugoslav.
Yeah.
Those are the Yugos. They like to misbehave.
What was that? What?
They like to misbehave.
Yeah. Yes, we do. Yeah. That's right. So we are importing these cars over here. They were really bad. I don't know if you know that.
What cars?
The Yugos from the Yugoslavia.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about that. Ladas were laughing because Lada's much better than Yugo. Outside Western country, they don't know that, but Lada and Yugo, they were very competitive, and we beat them out because Lada's still more popular in Russia and all over the Slovak countries. So,
yeah.
I don't know what happened to Yugo. Is that still around?
Well, it's not in the U.S. anymore. I know that. I don't think it is because, well, first of all, the country of Yugoslavia isn't around anymore. So there's that.
Good point. It'd be Bosnia Herzegovina car, or it'd be Czechia car. No, that's Czechoslovakia. I lose track of all the countries we had.
North Macedonia. Well, let's address that. There are people who say you're not in good health. Is that true?
No. I am perfect health, just like I've been in health. The Russian winter is cold, and it keeps our lungs air and fresh and clean, and it is good to have nice Moscow cold winters. I am in perfect health. I will put more pictures out with shirt on off, so you can see healthy chest of Russian winter.
Yeah. And so the other thing I have to address too is there's been pictures of you online, or people say it's not you. That's a double. I don't. Because they say this because you're smiling a lot. Is there any truth to that?
Oh, if you ever see yourself in pictures, right? Or even a mirror, you look in the mirror, you say, "Oh, that's me," but you see picture, it's not you because it's not reflection of you. It's opposite view that you have of yourself. And pictures are the same way. So people have that same conception of seeing me smile, and they say, "Well, that's not him. He does not look like him." But it's just different expression I have. And I think people are afflicted with same, that is not me, picture quality that everybody has when they see themselves in pictures.
Well, you guys have satellites that can take pictures of packs of cigarettes from 200 miles up, right?
And the tobacco quality as well. Yes, it's even finer. You get down in cigarette tobacco quality. You get these little flakes.
Hey, Vlad, this is an honest question. I don't even know. Do a lot of people in Russia still smoke anymore?
Well, yeah, they still do, but it's kind of a choice of vices. So you have drinking and you also have smoking. So Russia right now, they're big on smoking because it is what they can get their hands on, especially with the military operation going on. So, but the preference is definitely vodka. But smoking has been going down. And we still have smoking in the restaurant as well.
Yeah, in Europe they're still smoking. I mean, you're right now as much as you were 50 years ago, but they're still doing it. You go to France and going to cafe, people are still smoking. It's unbelievable.
Let me ask you something. Do
Yeah.
other countries have April Fools, or is that just an American thing?
Oh, say again, what was that?
Do other countries have April Fools, or is that just an American thing?
You know, I'm not sure, Vlad, but I think it's just an American thing. I'm not really sure about that. I don't know if our neighbors to the north, the Canadians, do it, but they're kind of goofy already. So I think it's every day is April Fool's Day there. So
yeah, you make my point, because American, they're only country who name holiday after fool, and we just don't have that. It's we're a serious country. We take things seriously.
Yeah.
The American, they're all fools, and they need a holiday to celebrate that, especially, or playing tricks on you, right? That's calling up with fake, health doctor conditions. So,
yeah. And do you think our current leader is a fool?
He's doing quite the work right now. We had to. I don't know if you saw this, but we had to ship some oil to Cuba.
Yeah.
You're making it a little difficult for that. Our neighbor down there. So we have to be delicate in these situations, because we don't understand what exactly he is thinking. He's like unpredictable.
Yeah. Bull in China shop.
Might do this, but one day, pardon me.
Like a bull in a China shop.
Perhaps. Maybe not as structured or well planned out. And if you talk about Soviet planning, what we do is we infiltrate early and have long game. Think about the communication and your open communication in America, and how we were able to basically hijack some of that communication and convince half of America to hate the other half of America.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win for us. So we operate at a different level than you do.
Vlad, so you guys are behind that? Are you behind that?
Behind what?
The fact that half of America hates the other half of America? Is that you're doing?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I will say that. I will give you a little Russian background. You know KGB?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Komitat Государственная Безопасность. That's what KGB stands for. Komitet, which is committee. Государственная, which is state, committee of state. And Безопасность is safety. But Безопасность literally means without danger. So it doesn't mean safety. It means without danger. It's kind of a weird grammar thing, but KGB, that's what that is. And I was with that for a long time, and we have alternative methods, which work quite fantastically well, especially with America.
Vlad, there's always been, you've given interviews where it seems like you've waxed very nostalgic about the old Soviet Union. Do you want to recreate it?
It's hard to do with a generation who's been brought up without Soviet. So it's a long game again, trying to convince them the advantages of Soviet Union, and having many different countries come together for one single goal, and that goal was to protect USSR. So it is quite it's quite a feat. To do that. There are many things proud of for the USSR. We have Olympic hockey team that it was very prominent and robust throughout those years. We have many of the Soviet infrastructure. Our subways are the best in the world, very deep, avoid any bombs. It's interesting. Their Soviet food too was quite the quite the memory in the kitchen in Soviet culture.
Yeah,
so
that's really
a lot of things from Soviet Union.
That's funny you should mention that. I've never heard anything really about Soviet food ever. I have no idea what it's like.
Oh, it's interesting. It's very good and robust. A lot of fish, a lot of dark breads, a lot of vodka, a lot of pickled items, and very inspiring throughout the different decades of Soviet Union. For example, when Lenin and Stalin were around, we had some of the famines, and some food recipes weren't as abundant, but they were cherished as homeward food. And as you get later into the years, because of the early on with the what were they, the czars, and they went away. When they went, so did all the good cooking, because all the cooks were for the czars, and now they were just all disparate, and so now they were opening their own restaurants, and that's how we have good food in Soviet Union after the fall of the czars.
Oh, that's cool.
Good for us.
We have here in Minneapolis, or it's actually in St. Paul, we have a restaurant called Moscow on the Hill. We have a Russian restaurant. It's quite good, actually. I've eaten there a few times, but other than that, I know nothing about Soviet food at all. So thank you.
What kind of food did you eat there?
I cannot remember. All I remember, the only thing I know about this is this bar supposedly has 300 different types of 350 different types of vodka behind the counter.
Oh,
yeah,
that sounds like a really good bar.
Yes, they advertise themselves as they have more vodka than any bar in the world. That's what they say. So, and yeah, it's you get a pretty damn good martini there. So, I've never asked you.
Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota. Yeah, Vlad, do you like martinis?
He's too cosmopolitan for me. I prefer just vodka straight up, toast vodka. Nostrovia.
Yeah. So, I was going to ask you one more thing. What was it? It was about the fact that you talked to other world leaders about living forever. Do you think that's going to happen?
It's interesting because some scientific programs right now and studies they have to reverse aging. It is quite a experiment, and we are at the precipice, I would say, of having lifetime extensions for humans. I am backing lots of that through monetary incentives. I think everybody wants to live a long time, but if you think about it, who wants to live forever? Nobody wants to live forever. What happens? Everybody you know dies.
Yeah.
Everybody is gone. For 50,000 years from now, you're still living. Really, you want to keep doing that. People don't know what it's like to live all this time. You'd have to ask a vampire or something, I guess. But it doesn't feel for a long time, but not forever.
Can I ask you, do you know what it's like to live forever?
I do not know.
Okay.
I think I know that question. I think it was an April Fool's question right there.
Yes, it was, Vlad. You're very smart. You're a smart man.
I am no Dracula.
And that's why you're running Russia.
Everybody else. I'm human, but I'm special human. So,
well, you're a very special man, Vlad. I want to thank you for calling. Thank you. We haven't talked to you for a while, so I really appreciate it. So,
well, you have yourself a good April Fool's Day. Hope you play plenty tricks.
Thank you, man.
Harm lots of people.
You too. We'll talk to you soon. Now joining us from his home in upstate New York on his Bluetooth headset, our old friend Think. How you doing, Think?
Hi, Jim. How's it going?
Hey, good.
I'm doing good, by the way.
I got your good. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. I got your avatar on the screen here. It's very, very colorful. It's very, very creative. It's very cool, actually. So I'm showing that. Yeah. You can't see that.
I know that. I did that when in Facebook Meta AI. I did that with Meta AI. So it's so cool how using AI, to me, it's so incredible.
Yeah.
The other day I make music videos, and I've been posting them on YouTube, and to make that screenshot, I don't know if, well, what is it called? It's for it uses like it can make bars go up and down to the beat. I forgot what that app is called, but you could you put your music video on this website. It transcribes the beats, and you could put these spectrums and things like that pulsate to the beat, and but it needs an image, right? It's good to have your own background image, and I've been using what is it, Flow.ai, to create my own background image. Now, making a background image is simple. You could just get an image, but to actually put text on there, normally, I would take the background image, go into Photoshop or whatever, and then design a logo and put it in there. And, designing the logo, I would most likely go into Illustrator and do these paths and all kinds of stuff. I just went in Flow.ai and just said, hey, I need a graffiti logo, put it in the upper left corner, and I want a background of like a countryside. And it did it all at one time. I must have made the logo in like 1 minute, 2 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
Which normally would have took me at least a couple hours or 3 days or like 3 hours or something. It's incredible. And it did it better than I would have done it. Much better.
It is incredible, isn't it?
3D.
Say again? What?
Yeah.
What were you saying? In 3D?
Yeah, I could have made the logo in 3D. I could have made it in 3D and have a glass texture. I could have had a knife cut it, the glass texture, and divide it in half. I could have done anything. This type of stuff right now that AI is doing. When I was in college, we actually had to use like 3D Studio Max or Infinity D or some one of the Cinema 4D or something, Lightwave, to do this, and it would have took a long time to like draw each a path for it. But to actually tell a computer what you want and have it done like that, and in a matter of just minutes, it's unbelievable to me. What we could do with AI is just totally unbelievable to me. And every time I'm doing stuff with it, I'm super shocked. I've been making music videos, and I'm starting to realize that all the ideas that I had in college that you know this, Jim, like you have a whole bunch of ideas and you're ready to do it, and then you hit a wall and realize you don't have the money or you don't have the resources to do it.
Right.
But with AI, now with AI, I can do it. I can actually do this, and I've been doing it. And all my ideas, I've been pushing out as much as possible. I have, I think, like 10 music videos. That's unbelievable, and it's all these ideas that I've been lingering in my head for over 30, 40 years, and I have more that I'm going to push out, and it's just so incredible.
Well,
incredible.
Think you're involved in the computer industry. You're a network guy. Have you ever used Claude Code, which is relatively new? I think about 6 months ago. That's been around. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I think I might have heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
It's the version of Claude by Anthropic that's specifically set up to generate computer code for programmers. And I've been thinking about using this already. So the thing is, you literally, just like you're saying, you simply tell Claude what you want to do, and it writes the code for it. And supposedly, now I haven't looked at this yet, but people have used it, have said it does at least as good a job, if not better, than any professional programmer can do. And it can create code. You can come up with massive projects, and it will create code in like a few hours. Stuff that would take a team a year to do. It's just unbelievable, apparently.
Yeah. That's another thing. The other day, I just asked Gemini a question just off the top of my head when I was driving. I was like, "Hey Gemini, can you design for me a content management system?" And Gemini, yes. When do you want to do it? And I was, really? You could do all this? Yes. it would have gave me the database for the MySQL database,
Yeah,
and also the index.php. It would have done all of it.
I know.
And I was like, yeah, and I was like, at least give me a look of it. And it generated a .php index page for me to just take a look at the index page of it, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
And I didn't like the look. It told me I could design it actually, and uploaded it to my design, my personal look, and upload it to Gemini, and it would have cut it up for me, or it would have designed it in a way where I could use it.
and think I don't even know. Is
Isn't
there a paid version of Gemini? Can you do you have a paid version, or are you using the free version?
I'm using the free version. From what I know about the paid version can generate music, videos, and images.
And-
You have a certain amount of images that you're allowed, and a certain amount of music you're allowed to. But then after you reach that threshold, you have to pay. But other than that, I think everything else is free.
And
Like, you could
how
have
much
it
how much does a
generate code.
how much does a paid version cost? You know?
I'm not sure. I want to say somewhere in the range of like $10 a month. I don't
Oh,
know. And then there are different tiers. So I think there's one that's like 20 and another 30. Maybe I
yeah,
don't know. I'm talking off the top of my head. I've been using the free version,
that's amazing. I mean,
but I
so
do have.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, please go ahead.
No. Go ahead, Jim. I want to hear what
Well,
you
I
say
was
so I
gonna
can
say,
rebuttal it.
I think I think the Anthropic, there's this Claude Code thing I was talking about by Anthropic. I think it costs $60 a month. I think, but you're literally talking about. I mean, this is the part think that's gonna, people going to put people out of work. I mean, you could you're replacing a whole team of people. I mean, something that would probably cost you, $200,000 or $300,000 a year for $60 a month. I mean, Christ, it's nuts. It's crazy. And you're doing this for free. I mean, Jesus.
Oh my God! If I should have sent you the links to some of my videos,
Yeah, please
but
do.
yeah,
Hey, think. Let me
the
send me a link to some of your videos. The next time you come on and we talk, at the end, I'll play one of them. Okay?
oh, yeah, that would be great.
I'd like to
But
do that.
I have a music video. Yeah, I have a music video called "Watching Paper Grow." It's like a remix of. It's not a It's like it's a hip hop song.
Uh-huh.
But I made a music video for it, and there's got to be at least 50 people in that music video, and three main actors, and it's all kind. If I were to have paid all this, it would have been at least $50,000.
Yeah,
If these people were willing to get paid,
it would.
and I did it for free at my house. Yeah,
Isn't
and
that
I did it in 1 week.
Isn't that crazy? And so now I haven't seen what you're
That's
doing, but in the latest versions of the AIs that have come out in the last 6 months or so, I cannot tell the difference between the AI generated people and a real video. I can't tell the difference. You could maybe a year ago, but now you can't. Is that true with what you got going on too?
I'm going to send you the link later on today, and then you tell me. It's difficult. It's difficult still because of certain movements. It's very difficult to tell AI to do simple things like take off a man take off his shirt
Uh-huh.
or sit in a car.
Uh-huh.
It's difficult for the AI to understand that. In fact, I'm making this music video where a man is driving a 2026 Rolls Royce Spectre, and it has suicide doors, coach doors that open backwards.
I know that. Yeah.
And I'm writing up. Yeah, so I'm writing up these prompts to have the door open, and it just doesn't understand it. It can't open the door backwards because it's so used to having regular doors open normal.
That's interesting.
And no matter how many times I wrote different prompts to open backwards, hinges, all kinds of different. It just doesn't get it.
And it doesn't actually.
I
you can't actually tell it the make of the Rolls Royce, so it doesn't recognize that, huh?
It doesn't yet. it's just too complex. I don't know what it is. It's and the whole taking the shirt off. It's just too. It doesn't quite get it yet, but it's close though, Jim. It's very, very close. I give it like maybe 3 or 4 more years. Like what you said a minute ago, where actors are hard to tell if they're AI or not.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell like the look of them. Like if you were to put, I don't know, Chris Hemsworth's face online or something, you couldn't tell the difference. But if it's an animation of him doing certain things, it would be, you could tell, because the animation is jerky. It doesn't flow proper yet, but
Right.
it's getting there. Yeah, in about 3 or 4 more years, when these computers or servers or whatever they're using to save all this info gathers up enough information, I would think that the movements are going to be more smooth, and the prompts are going to be much small or less detailed. Like right now, if you were to have an AI, have a character in an AI take off their shirt or their pants, you actually have to go step by step. Like the man pulls his shirt up to exposing his belly button. Then from there he goes up. You know, you have to like write at least 2 or 3 paragraphs to get that done. When in all actuality, in real life, you just say, "Hey, this man taking off his shirt."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just so complex. But it's getting there.
Do you think? But
Getting there.
do you think as even as this progresses and it gets more sophisticated, the talent for somebody like you, or the skill, is literally going to be writing the prompts? I mean, there's a friend of mine who's a filmmaker, and he's dealing with, and I can't remember. In fact, this is one of the things I want to bring up with you today. Supposedly, I don't know if you heard this morning, OpenAI killed the Soros video generator, which was their little pet project, because they said it was burning up a shitload of computing power and electricity, even though they weren't charging for it. And then my thing is, well, why don't you charge for it? I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to figure, their business. I'm not trying to figure out their business model. But at any rate, they killed it because it was using up an enormous amount of resources. But a friend of mine has been using it, and he's been creating basically 1-minute parody commercials, like based on drug commercials and stuff like that. I haven't seen them yet. I told him, I said, show me one when you're done. but his thing, and just based on what you're telling me too, I mean, I'm under the impression that the real art in doing this will be people who know how to write the prompts. Don't you think? No pun intended.
Definitely. Definitely the knowing the prompts. But here's something that I've been thinking about, Jim. This is something that I don't know. Please try to keep up, all right? With what I'm about to say.
Okay.
So I've been making music, right? And I think that the music that I create now using AI is the best I've ever heard. I don't even want to listen to music anymore. Like every time before I go to the gym, if my music gets old, I'll search the web or whatever and try to find some new music. But now it's like I can't listen to anything good. All the music that I make, it's catered exactly to how my preference, my taste. So I was wondering, is this the future that we're headed, where people are just gonna make music and media that's catered to them, and so therefore they won't need to search for this type of music? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Or
yes, it does.
Because of my artistic style.
But
okay.
Well, hold on. You actually you touched on something here that I know a little bit about, because I don't want to forgive my arrogance, but I'm kind of an expert at what's called music theory, and a lot of people don't even know what music theory is. But I trained in it, and I did it as a job for a while. The thing is, what you said doesn't surprise me, because you have to train the AI in music theory to come up with good music. And the problem right now that I've noticed for the last probably 10 years is that most pop music in the United States now doesn't have anything to do with traditional music theory. And I think that's why people think it's bad. I don't want to get into I mean, I could talk about this for hours, but so they're training the AI in music theory, and because of that, the AI is pretty good at writing pretty decent music. And I think you're onto something. I think at some point people just say, play me some hip hop, and the AI will just make it up on the spot, and it will be perfectly good. I think what you're talking about is actually correct. I think that's going to happen. It might even happen for like even television. It's like, make me a new episode of Bridgerton, and AI will just do that, and no one no one gets any royalties or anything. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. What do you? I think you're right. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah. So you understand what I'm talking
Yes,
about?
I do. Yeah,
that's
totally.
exactly it. Like, yeah, like if you watch YouTube, every time a new movie comes out, I don't know, like Spider-Man, there's going to be some people that says, "Hey, I didn't like the ending. I didn't like this part. I didn't like that." But I feel in the future, people are going to create their own Spider-Man, like little tiny movie, or they'll throw out a blueprint or something like
Right.
that, and then you basically fill in the rest of it with what you want, and you create it like using AI. I want this scene, this scene, this scene, and then you make your own.
Well,
It's like,
do you think
I feel that that's where we're headed.
do you think there might be a market
ahead.
though? There might end up being a market for people like, okay, so at some point you'll be able to create a whole 2-hour movie, right? That some people's movie creations might be so good based on what they prompt the AI to do that maybe those things could be tradable, or you could actually charge for them. You think?
Yeah. That is a possibility, and then you could put it into an NFC and sell it through an NFC,
Yeah.
something like that. But yeah. I think that could be, and most likely that might be actually. Like a movie comes out, I don't know, Superman or something like that, and they give a raw template of it. A raw template. This is Superman, and then you go, I don't know, you go online on their website or whatever, and then you utilize the AI and tell it how to fill in the gaps of the template.
Right.
Scene, and then you make it, and maybe you save it on their website, and then maybe other people that are not into like building a movie might want to watch somebody that's into it,
Well,
like artistically. Go ahead.
in that sense, it's kind of like a mod levels for a game, right? I mean, do people do that anymore? I don't even know. Where you create your own level for a game. Yeah. I mean, kind of the same thing.
Yeah, mods are very popular. From what I know, people actually make money. I don't know if people get rich off of it, but I know that mods are very popular, especially in those games like what's the kid games with the Roblox?
Roblox, yeah.
It is? And then there's another one. Yeah, there's also another one. I forgot what it is. It's a copy of Roblox.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what it is. They made a movie on it. And then, of course, the Free Fire and I forgot the name of that game where they fly you and drop you down, and then you build like I'm sorry, I can't.
Well, the only movie I know that
right
or the only game they made a movie out of is the first thing that comes to mind is Minecraft. Is that what you're thinking?
Minecraft. Yeah, that's right. Roblox and Minecraft are almost like the same exact thing.
Right.
They yeah. So they both, you can build like your own world in there, and I mean, I think they sell them, right?
Yeah, I think they do too. But like you said,
I
I don't know how lucrative it is. I don't know if people are getting rich off of it, but you're right. I think they do sell them. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's another one where it's an actual fighting game. It's a realistic, unlike Roblox and Minecraft. It's a realistic game where you're in a plane, they drop you into this area, and then you basically try to find each other and kill. And the last person that stands, the last person alive wins. And it's a very popular game.
Yeah.
There are many clones of it. I just can't think of it right now.
I don't know. I don't know if you know this, but there's way more money now in video games than there is in movies. I mean, in terms of the revenues, and there's way more money. A good game like Grand Theft Auto, or I mean, that's probably ages me, but or what's the What's the one where the nameless warrior that Microsoft did, where the guy without a face? I can't remember. What's that called? You know what I'm talking about? Whatever.
And yeah, I don't play video
Is that
games
Call
anymore
of
to
Duty?
know the new ones.
Yeah, I don't either.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, right. There's they make tons of money off this crap. It's not crap, but I'm just talking. So
Yeah.
let me ask you, you're talking about all the stuff you're doing. There's no doubt this is going to, at least in the short term, this is going to put an enormous number of people out of work, isn't it?
I think it's going to put a whole industry out of work. Is what I'm trying to say, Jim.
Right.
Like if people are creating their own music, I'm creating my own music. I'm not trying to download. I'm not going to iTunes to buy some when I can make music better than them. Well, better in my preference. Like I made these music, these songs. I posted on Facebook, and I rarely get anyone that likes it. But to me, it's the best thing I've ever heard. I can't hear anything better than what I made. It's because it's catered directly to me, and the music and the videos that I've been making, that it's the same way. I feel that it's incredible to me. The storylines are getting better, and I'm getting better at it. And I think I'm gonna make like things that are so incredible. I think I could blow away a lot, but I don't think people are going to like it. I think the only one that really is going to like it a lot is me. So what I'm trying to say is I think other people are going to be similar to me as well, where they are going to start making music and movies and all that that's catered to them. But if that's the case, and especially, go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, I do have to ask you this, but that is, when you're creating music with the AI, you're not feeding it any direct notes or melodies or anything like that. You're literally just doing text prompts, correct?
That's correct. Yep.
Right.
And sometimes the text prompts are so simple, like make me a love song. That's it.
Yeah.
And then it comes out corny, and then but there's a beat in there that I'll like, or something like that. And I forgot what it's called, but you remix it. You take that song and then you remix it, and then you add in another prompt, like turn this into a love song with like a trance vibe, or now give it a trance vibe, give it a trap vibe, make a country opera out of it, and then you adjust it over and over. Oh, I gotta tell you this theory real quick, baby, so that you can understand. Okay, but real quick.
Please do.
In college, in college, a bunch of I went to an art college. A bunch of us in the art college I went to said that we are entering a maximalist time period. Back in the days, there was this thing called minimalism, where they were just making shapes like squares, circles.
Right.
But in our time period, we're the opposite of that. We're entering a maximalism time period where they combine a whole bunch of things together to make the artwork. For example, Star Wars. If you look at Star Wars, what is it? It's not a sci-fi movie. It's a samurai movie. It's also a huge religious movie about like Buddhism or spirituality. It's also a Western, a country Western in there. And it's a love story. It's a whole bunch of different elements put together to make that movie. You could put it like, you could say The Matrix is the same way. Almost every movie is like watching 5 different shows at one time to make that one movie. And art is the same way. And so the music that we're listening to right now is not just rap music. It's rock and roll. There's hints of opera in there. There's hints of other things. And that's how, I don't know why I went through this. I'm explaining this, but that's how I've been making my music. I've been putting hints of like opera in there, Western and like different things in there.
Well, the reason I brought up the thing about the prompts is that, so you're prompting the AI to create music, but actually, I mean, no offense to you, the AI is actually doing most of the work. So in that sense, the AI is actually composing music. You're not feeding in any melodies or chord progressions or any of that crap, right?
That's correct. 100%. The AI is creating all of it. I'm just choosing what I like and then elaborating on it.
Right. So therefore,
Right.
the
Yeah.
AIs are pretty good composer, I guess. You know, which doesn't
Yeah,
surprise
but
me.
if you really think about,
No, go ahead,
but
please.
if you really think about it, Jim, yeah, if you really think about it, like let's say rap music, right? The whole scratching and the mixing. If you listen to the majority of rap music, they're taking samples from different time
Of
periods, so
course,
or
that's
different
right.
music from different and putting it together and then
Right,
making the different loops, and that's the music we have now. And
right,
it's not just rap music. It's almost every music right now has some sort of melody or sample from something in the past.
right.
For AI to come along and say, "Hey, I'm going to take everything, and now you make your own music out of it." I mean, it's not. What I'm trying to say is AI to me is an instrument too now,
Yeah,
just
I
like
totally agree.
the script, the turntable, all of that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So if someone, I often hear people say, if you're making music or videos through AI, it's not original. And how is it not original when the turntable is using records and you're scratching off an actual record that's done by somebody else, and that somebody else that made that song is also copying somebody else.
right.
So to me, it's just another instrument.
Well,
AI
the
is
other thing
just
is,
another instrument.
getting back to this thing about music theory, we have 500 years of Western music to draw from. And at this point, I went to music school. So, like, one of my famous teachers, he pointed out the fact that there's 12 notes in the Western musical scale. And if you're going to arrange them, this is so there's no repetitions. There's 100 million different combinations. And that doesn't even include rhythm or repetition. So when you include that stuff, you're getting to billions and trillions of combinations. And at this point, we haven't hit the point where everyone has been done at least once, but they've been done enough times so that we kind of know what the patterns are. And you're absolutely right. I agree that this is, in that sense, AI is basically a natural progression of sampling or what, it's like basically just taking it to the next level. In that sense, that's kind of an evolutionary step. But the computing power involved is actually, like, that's the incredible part. I mean, you're absolutely correct about this, you know.
Yeah, yeah. The whole thing about rhythm, I made this song in AI, and every song I make, no matter what I can actually speak in there, like how I'm speaking to you right now,
Yeah.
and record it and put it and upload it and have it do something, and it'll take what I say and put it in a rhythmic something to
Uh-huh.
the beat, right, to a beat. But the other day, this was really weird. I did something and the song was offbeat. The chorus was offbeat. Like the singing and the rapping was on beat, but then when the chorus came, it was offbeat. And I was listening to, oh my God, this sounds beautiful. It was offbeat, but it was beautiful. And then it made me think, where did I hear this style before? I heard that style somewhere before, and it knew to do that. It knew to be offbeat. So there is no pattern with this AI. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you play in the past, if you play video games in the past, if you play it long enough, you'll realize there's a pattern
Uh-huh.
to playing the video game. And that's how I saw computers for the longest time. That there's a pattern. You just have to figure out what that pattern is, and then you could beat the game. But
Yeah.
what I saw when the rhythm with that chorus going off beat, that's I think that's the creative mindset that I feel of a human being. That we think outside the box. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We all know that to make music, you have to have a rhythm. But some of us are inclined because we're humans. We do things weird, and then out of nowhere, we'll do something offbeat. And for an AI, a computer, to do that shocked me right there. That
Yeah.
it made the singing offbeat, and it sounded beautiful.
Yeah,
Have
I
you
do
ever
have to.
heard anything like that
Yeah, I
before,
do.
Jim?
I have, because I do have to point this out. There are some examples in pop music of this, and one I know in particular is Eminem's "Lose Yourself." That song, the chorus is what's called in music theory term polymetric. He's actually singing or rapping in a different meter than the music is playing. The background track is playing. I think that's partly what you're talking about here. And so it gives it a very unique sound, and he did that deliberately, and it's actually quite an art because it's hard to do because you basically kind of have to rap along with the music and ignore it at the same time. So, I mean, I've always thought that guy was brilliant myself, but there's actual musical terms for this stuff, but you're right, it isn't done very often, but because it's difficult. Another song that comes to mind is Kashmir by Led Zeppelin, where John Bonham, the drummer, is drumming in a different time than the rest of the band is playing. And that's the reason that song is such a unique sound. It's considered a hallmark of rock music, but that's the reason. And that's not easy either. What he did is not particularly easy as a player. But that's what you're talking about here. That's the type of stuff you're talking about. It isn't that it hasn't been done before, but it hasn't been done very often. So the fact that that your AI would stumble into this, I find pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's very, like, if you listen to the chorus of this song that I created through AI, you could, like, the first time you hear the chorus, you're like, oh my God, it's offbeat. But then you hear it, the repetition of it, constantly going offbeat. You start to like it. After after the second chorus, when it comes back in and you hear it again and it's offbeat, it sounds so good. It's for me, it's the hook. It's incredible.
I do have to ask you about this though, because people have played with this. Other people have told me that, and you alluded to this just a few minutes ago, that although the AI can be really good at writing music, the lyrics are usually really cheesy. That's the other people have told me. Is that what your experience has been too?
Sometimes it is, but I think it's good. I mean, no. So with AI, you can't, and I think it's like this with regular music. No one writes a good lyric, and I mean a good verse, and then one time, and then here, this is what I wrote, and then they accept it. There's going to be a bunch of corrections,
right?
Like this line right here will not match the beat, so let's change this line here, and let's change this line. No one writes one time a script or anything one time and it gets it right. So AI is not going to get it one time, but you have to catch it, and then say, and then have it redo it or adjust it. But from my experience, it sounds good to me. But like some of the verses that the AI comes up with is beautiful to me, and I'm
cool.
surprised that AI can understand it.
Maybe,
I'm really shocked that AI can understand things like that.
Like everything, maybe it's just gotten better in the last few months. I mean, people have been telling me this for about a year ago, how bad it was, and maybe it's just, I mean, like everything else, maybe it's just gotten better. Oh,
I'll tell you, I remember, was it a year or 2 years ago? It was this video of Will Smith eating spaghetti, and it was just like he was eating it through his nose, or his hands was like he'll have 3 arms, and none of it looked right. But I saw this clip of the progression every year, and nowadays, I mean, the Will Smith eating the spaghetti video right now, look, you can't tell the difference.
That's fascinating.
You can't tell that it looks so natural and realistic. The movement of him eating the spaghetti and all that.
What a thing to use as a benchmark. Hey,
that's right, and I think that's what they consider the benchmark.
I'm gonna let you go. But this has been really fascinating. I knew it would be. That's the reason I asked you to come on. So I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on again, Jim. It's always a pleasure speaking with you.
We'll talk soon. You take care. All right, that's our show for tonight. I just want to point out, besides the fact that it's April Fool's Day, it's also the 50th anniversary of the creation of the Apple Computer Company. That iPhone you have in your pocket, that was their idea. Steve Jobs and Wozniak and those people. And it's also, of course, the Artemis 2 got off this evening, and that's going to be the longest trip humans ever made out into space. Not much longer than the Apollo shots, but a little longer. Also, it bears, it's been like over 50 years since we did this. So the Artemis 2 rocket is not as tall or as large as the Saturn rocket was, but it's way more powerful because things improve. So tomorrow night, our guest is Louisa Peck, and she's got a really interesting story. First of all, her book is called Die Hard Atheist, From NDE and Denier to Full-On Woo-Woo Against My Will. And so her story is that she was an atheist. I can say that in the past tense. And then in her mid-20s, she had a cardiac arrest at a rave, a dance party, and she died. And she had a near-death experience. At the time, she didn't give a lot of credence to. She said, well, my mind just made this all up, and no big deal. But that started for her a lifetime of paranormal experiences. And she finally decided maybe there actually is something to this stuff. So we're going to talk to her tomorrow. And finally, I'm going to leave you tonight with this is a video that I pulled off the internet. I saw this morning. It was really, really clever. It's by a guy named Matthew Weathers. He's a lecturer at Biola University outside of Los Angeles. And you have to appreciate this because this must have taken quite a lot of work. So anyway, I'm going to leave you with that. We'll be back tomorrow night with Louisa Peck. I want to thank you folks for watching. I really appreciate it. So you take care, all right?
You use this X right here to get the, oh my gosh, I just drew on that. Hold on. You know what? I'm gonna search for a solution. Let's see, video, math. Maybe this guy can help me. There we go. Hey you, hey, do you think you could help me? I accidentally drew on the screen right here. I don't know what to do. No, a little bit farther down, right there. Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's not working. That's making it worse. I'm not sure what to do here. What's that? Oh, okay, yeah, all right. That's just getting the cat dirty. That's not working. All right. Okay. Yeah. Let's try that. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. I don't know what to do. Yeah, you have an idea? Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let me try that. Okay. Go grab that for me. All right. Move out of the way. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. Okay, after let me move this out of the way so you can see it there. Move that there. There we go. I think that worked. All right, thanks for helping me. Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry, yeah, okay. Sorry. Wait a second. I think the lightsaber was too hot. Uh-oh.